If you're new to investing or starting out or want to improve your financial knowledge, we'll hope you're in the right place. Because the one thing we don't teach people is about basic values. The world of investing is completely taboo or inertia to discuss. So hopefully you're taking the right steps. My name is Dave and I work in financial services and I help people access their private pensions. So the aims of the videos on my finance blog is to improve financial knowledge and awareness so you can reach your goals just like me. So I've applied the principles to become a net millionaire in my early 50s. Now let's get into the latest video. This video is about my self-invested personal pension plan. Now it's not to boast or brag or say look at me, but to give people hope. If I can build a sizable portfolio, you can too. If you think long term, invest on a regular basis in a tax-free offer. Now I do have a workplace pension, but I'm restricted, one, to contributions, and two, where I can invest the funds. So I pick my own products. So what are the aims? Well, we're looking for annual growth of 10% year on year. For this year, we're looking for dividends of £7,500 and a year-end value of around about 231,000. So how have we done during the month? Well, we started at 203,037. We finished at 205,457. Profit of the month, £2,500. Year to date, 3.76%. So we are below, shall we say, the FTSE, which were 8% a year to date, but the banks have struggled, shall we say, during the month after a great run last year. Look at the quick contributions. We pay around about £250 a month, and the government give us tax relief of basic rate taxpayer. But predominantly, shall we say, based in financial services and the UK. Our platform provider charges monthly fees of £20.91, increases slightly based upon a portfolio of our shares on our funds held within the portfolio. And where exactly are we invested? Well, predominantly UK based, 77% in UK and Europe, 20% in USA and Americas, and 2.5% in Asia and emerging markets. Now we are putting new funds, shall we say, in a global tracker fund to diversify. And what dividends have we received during the month? Well, not a great month. We received one dividend. AJ Bell, the platform provider, gave us £25.44. Now we didn't reinvest, it was not worth it. But across our shares, we've got a yield of 4.21%. Now we've had some great results during the month, so we will get some nice dividends, shall we say, March, April, May, and we'll be back on track. But it just goes to show you're not going to have dividends every month. It's obviously some are half yearly, some are quarterly, some are annually. But we will meet our objectives year to date. So let's look, shall we say, at the portfolios of what we actually hold within the account. At the moment, our funds, we hold two simple funds. Just over £53,000 makes up 26% of our portfolio. We've done it for diversification and we just switch off. Simple low-cost funds. Our main fund is a Fidelity World Index Fund. Nearly 16% of our portfolio. We are topping up on a regular basis, but low fees of 0.12%, and it owns around about 1,400 shares. Has given, shall we say, 10% every year, obviously based upon, shall we say, US based, but it just goes to show simple low-cost fund meets our objectives. We've got an LNG technology fund, nearly £21,000, 10% of our portfolio, slightly higher fees of 0.32%, and more selective, owned around about 250 shares. Again, US based, but again, very nice results. Year on year, we're getting over 10% over the past few years. Just switch off, simple fund. Okay. Now let's look, shall we say, at the shares we hold within the portfolio. The largest shareholding on the chart is Lloyds the Banking Group, 38,500 shares, nearly £40,000, 19% of our portfolio. Had great results, shall we say, at the end of January. Will pay us a nice dividend in, shall we say, May. But very cash rich, dividends being increased, has been affected, shall we say, by the car scandal, but profits, great runs during 2025. We own Aviva, 5,276 shares, £36,000. 70% of our portfolio will have results out early, shall we say, March. Got a nice yield around about 6 or 7%. It's very cash rich, has streamlined, and it is, shall we say, going to give some very nice dividends over the coming years. Just switch off, everyone needs insurance. We own HSBC, 1,322 shares, £18,000, 9% of our portfolio. Did have, shall we say, good results in the UK, but struggled in China. But it is cash rich, shall we say, had a great run recently, and it does pay a nice quarterly dividend. Okay, we own Barclays, 3,300 shares, £15,000, 7%. Again, some very nice results during the month. Dividends was increased substantially, has got a yield around about 4.5%. Okay, now away from the banks, we own Drax, the biomass or the pallet producer. 1,357 shares, £12,000. Nearly 6% of our portfolio, but again, very good results for the month, very cash rich, and dividends increased. It's now paying 17.5 pence dividends, shall we say, at the end of May. Will be affected, shall we say, by any cost in future, but it's subsidised by the government. But it was done for a reason. Back on the banks or insurance companies, we own L&G. 2,473 shares, nearly £7,000, 3% of our portfolio. And like Aviva, everyone needs insurance, very cash rich, a much better yield, around about 8-9%, and hopefully it will give us nice results in the middle of March, and hopefully dividends increase substantially. On the high street, we own Greggs. Has struggled during the past few months, shall we say, about so-called weight loss jabs, fat loss jabs, cost of living crisis, but it is expanding. We own 302 shares, £4,500, 2% of our portfolio. Who knows what will happen when results out, shall we say, early in March, but it is very cash rich. It's making, shall we say, a lot of money. Does pay a nice dividend. Will that be maintained? But it is expanding on the high street, forecourts, shopping parks, retail parks. Okay. We also own Sainsbury's, 1,413 shares, nearly £5,000, 2.5% of our portfolio. Again, very cash rich, very good results recently, very good dividends, is increasing market share, but it's forever in a price war with Aldi. We own two, shall we say, we do two oil stocks. We own Shell, 150 shares, £4,600, 2% of our portfolio, and BP, 542 shares, £2,500, 1.26%. Does pay nice quarterly dividends, shall we say. BP struggled lately because, shall we say, restructuring programme. Who knows what will happen, shall we say, with the impending conflict within, shall we say, Iran, the Middle East. Oil price will increase, will profits increase. But very good companies, very cash rich, but they are on a restructuring, shall we say, moving forwards. And we own JD Sports, £2,500 shares, £2,100, 1% of the portfolio. Is cash rich, makes £1 billion profit, has expanded, shall we say, in Europe and America, seen as a growth company, but does pay a very small yield. Now, other companies we own, shall we say, are Pen and the Water Company, AG Bar, the drinks producer, AJ Bell, the platform provider, and Card Factory on the retail side. All small stocks, but we've done for a reason. We saw no reason to sell any shares in the foreseeable future. But it just goes to show, you're going to have good months, you're going to have bad months, but we've got some really nice dividends due in upfront, and we saw no reason to sell any shares for the foreseeable future. We just what we call buy and hold. Okay. Remember, if you like the videos, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Look at my blog, moneyminted.co.uk, but it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. You will meet your objectives in future if you invest on a regular basis within a tax wrapper and you reinvest all dividends. You've got your allowances, you can effect, but it just goes to show, if I can build a sizable portfolio, you can too, if you take the right steps. I will see you again in the next video.